Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the sixth episode of the classic WWF series. Tonight it's October 5th, 1997. Why do I have a fascination with 1997? Anyway, getting back to this. We are in St. Louis, Missouri at the Kiel Center, the sponsor's PlayStation. If you haven't worked it out already, I'll give you the attendance. 21,151 fans witnessed Bad Blood in Your House. This is the 18th in Your House under the WWF, and also this is the first official match of the Hell in a Cell. So yeah, I'm actually, it's a night of first because we would have the first Hell in a Cell, and also we would see the very first appearance of Kane, which is also really cool. So, like I say, the main event is the first ever Hell in a Cell match pitting The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels. And with Kane, well, debuting. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have my notes here, and let's go through the matches. So, the first match was the Nation of Domination, D'Lo Brown, Kama Mustafa, and Rocky Maivia, taking on and defeating the Legion of Doom, Animal, and Hawk. Now, at this time, it was supposed to be the Legion of Doom and Ken Shamrock, but Ken Shamrock was legitimately injured, so he couldn't take part in the match. Um, I mean, it's really cool seeing a handicap match with an actual storyline going into it because the Legion of Doom wanting to still face the Nation Domination, and to be fair, it was a really good match. Rocky Maivia was the chicken shit heel. D'Lo Brown did high flying moves and stuff like that. Hawk and Animal no selling really started to piss me off a little bit. And yeah, it was one of those things where it was like, oh, just sell a little bit, please, just sell. But hey ho. Um, but yeah, it was a really good match, like I say. Nation of Domination won, and yeah, I'm actually, Common Mustafa was really good as well. He would later become Godfather, as I've said a few times before on the show. Legion of Doom, they would be involved in a drinking storyline. I think it would be Hawk involved in the drinking angle. Correct me if I'm wrong. Um, a third member would come in as the Legion of Doom. They would split off because it turned out that the third person and all this bollocks. But then they would come back as Legion of Doom 2000 with their manager Sonny. Amazingly, they brought Sonny back for Legion of Doom 2000, and they would win a over the top rope tag team battle royal at WrestleMania, at the following WrestleMania. So yeah, it was actually really, really good. As an opening contest, it was really, really good. Just 1 minute, guys. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Something came up. Had to get the door for a post. Anyway, next up, we had Max Mini and Nova taking on Mosara and Tarantula in the first ever Minis match in WWE for the WWF Classic Series. To be honest, actually not a bad match. I thought it would be short, but no, it was a really good match, really good length. Max Mini and Nova won. But yeah, it was a really, really good match. The way they used the ropes and stuff like that in the match was really, really good. And yeah, I was actually quite happy with the match. And then, the Godwins, Henry O. Godwin and Phineas O. I. Godwin, with under O. Cletus, defeating the Headbangers, Mosh and Thrasher, for the tag team titles. I thought this one was really sloppy. To be well, I just made a pun. God damn it. I thought the match was okay to a point, but going 12 minutes, I wrote down the time. It didn't need it. It did not need to go 12 minutes. I thought it needed. I thought it would be okay doing about 10 minute long, but it was an okay match. Nothing offensive in the match. Not many botches, if I recall, from the match. But yeah, it was actually okay. It was an okay match. Next up, Owen Hart defeating Farouk. The streak lives on. I still get to watch an Owen Hart match in this era. I am very happy about that. But the way this match ended, or more importantly, the way this match happened was because it was basically Austin had to relinquish the title due to injury, and So basically, they then decided that Austin will be giving the Intercontinental Championship to the person who won the match of this match. So it was a tournament. Problem was Austin just took over the match. Basically annoyed everybody on commentary, which is okay. Invaded the French commentary, invaded the Spanish commentary, and then hit Farouk in the head with the title belt to win. If he came out halfway through the match, because I know for a fact that Owen Hart and Farouk could put on a really good match, but no, if he came out halfway through the match and just hit Farouk with the title belt, that would set up the storyline going on with him in the Nation of Domination with Owen Hart, winning the belt Survivor Series, I want to say. And then that would lead into the Nation Domination and him feuding with Rocky Maivia, leading up to Royal Rumble, and then him leading up to winning the title at WrestleMania 14. But yeah, 5 minutes and 51 seconds. It was the shortest match of the night, and to be honest, I could have seen that match going double or even triple that time. To be honest with you guys, I wish it did actually. To be fair. Next up, the Disciples of Apocalypse: 8-Ball, Chain, Crush, and Skull defeating Los Boliquas. Salvio Vegas team. I cannot say any of their names. I do apologise, guys. As an 8-man tag, it was okay. I just felt that the heels were using dirty tactics, which is yeah, okay, it's heel. They're supposed to do that and stuff like that. But with Los Boliqua, with me, it just didn't click. It was, if say the next match, Bret Hart and British Bulldog, if they did that, it would be, oh, you dastardly heels. But with Los Boliqua, it was just like, oh, did they just? Oh, that was really terrible. That was actually terrible. Apart of that, again, nothing really of memorable. I mean, there were a couple of botches in it, but I can't. The worst thing is, I can't remember the match. It was just one of those matches that you just watch it. Oh, that was okay. What's the next match? Oh, Bret Hart and the British Bulldog defeating the Patriot Invader. Oh, okay. It's one of those things. Speaking of which, Bret Hart and the British Bulldog defeating the Patriot Invader in a flag match. What the flip Gordon is a flag match? Well, I'll tell you what a flag match is. Basically, a flag match is you have one flag in one corner and another flag in the other corner. So, say you have the United Kingdom flag in one corner and the flag of annoying little children with a My Little Pony on the flag or something like that. So that was awkward. That was a joke. That's an inside joke. Anyway, so basically, you have those two flags, and then the people in the ring would fight to get the flag. So the first person to win is to retrieve the flag, and their national anthem would play, and you'd be like, "Monkeys are beautiful," something like that. The problem was with this match, three of the four participants were injured. Bret Hart was injured. The Patriot was recovering from an illness, and Vader was injured. So I think the only person who was well was British Bulldog. Don't quote me on that one, but I think it was. I think it was that setup. So they then changed it to a pin or submission match, and it's not a flag match. It's just an ordinary match, just with flags in the middle of it. And it's like, seriously, what the flip Gordon is going on? And then when the Patriot music hits, it's like, oh yay, Kurt Angle, and then it's like, oh yeah, this is like, the Patriot would have the song first. One moment, guys, I do apologise. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I literally just had a talking pony asking which way to Ponyville at the front door. I must be on hallucinogenic drugs again, probably. Anyway, talking about this flag match. Yeah, so it was pinfall submission, which is really weird because it's not how a flag match is supposed to go, and B, they've literally done this the day of the show, so literally they changed it to a pinfall submission match. Not really anything to. 1 minute, the pony just sneezed. So I do apologise about that, guys. I have a pony in the house. I don't know why. Yeah, it was one of these matches that was like, if all four guys were fit enough, I think it would have been brilliant. Or it should have been a tag team match or something like that. It should not have been a flag match. It was stupid. And then the ending of the match. So the Patriot is trying to use the figure four onto using the sharpshooter onto Brett, which is fair enough. But the way he's done it is the way Brett did it at SummerSlam 1992 against the British Bulldog. So they're both on the floor, wrap around, spin up, and sit up. When Brett did it, it was cool because that was the very first time that Brett actually did that move. Here, it was sloppy. So Brett then literally just rolled him up, rolled up the Patriot, 1, 2, 3, and then all of a sudden the bell rings and the Patriots kicking the stuffing out of Brett, and it's like, wait a minute, why is the good guy kicking the stuffing out of the bad guy when he got rolled up and legitimately pinned 1, 2, 3? It was weird. It was a weird match. So a little bit more history for you guys. The Patriot would then leave the WWF to basically deal with that. His music, the music, would be used by Sergeant Slaughter at Degeneration X in Your House, and then used by his most notorious person, Kurt Angle. What would be sloppy thirds? I don't know. Anyway, going back to this, Vader would do a stint. Would go back to WCW for a little bit, and then go to Japan. I think it would be War. Yeah, Wrestling and Romance War. After he was pinned by Kane a few weeks after this pay per view. British Bulldog would go back to WCW for a little bit, and his career would be shortly ended afterwards after taking a bad body drop onto a trapdoor in the ring to make the Ultimate Warrior appear in the middle of the ring at the Four Brawl War Games, if I recall. And Bret Hart, after this pay per view, something happened at something happened in this year. I can't remember what it was. But then he would go to WCW and then get his head rocked by Goldberg, ending his career. Vance Goldberg, you really did us proud there. Main event time, and hopefully this pay per view will be salvaged a little bit. Shawn Michaels taking on The Undertaker in a Hell in a Cell match for the first time ever. I have a lot to say about this match. For the first time ever, I think it should have stayed in the cell. I don't think Shawn and I don't think Taker should have gone out the cell and done stuff on the top. I think that would have been more impactful with Mick Foley doing it that way. So then the cell is literally, you can't get out. Once you're in, you can't get out. I think that would have been a lot better. Keep the stuff with Shawn climbing in the cell. I think that would have been a lot better. But having Shawn and Taker move out of the cell and doing wrestling moves on top of the cell and stuff like that, it didn't need that. It was the first ever Hell in a Cell match. It's already going to be remembered as the first Hell in a Cell match. Noticeably, the second one is more remembered due to the fall off the cell and the chokeslam through the cell and stuff like that. But it's the first ever Hell in a Cell. It should definitely be remembered as the first ever Hell in a Cell. Literally nothing should have gone. As soon as it had gone outside, it just dropped. It was like, okay, now I know why it's not remembered, because they literally go outside of the ring. And it's like, But how was Kane's debut done? Actually, surprisingly, really well. He's not a good guy, he's not a bad guy, he basically just tombstoned his brother, and Shawn gets the pin. Did it need it? No, not really. I think they should have just tombstoned him and walked out, which is pretty much what he did. That would. But for Shawn to win the match that way, it's one of those conflicting interests, because now we've got Shawn versus Bret, Survivor Series, yay, and then the infamous Montreal Screwjob. But it was like, it's leading up, because I think it should have been more I think it should have been Bret versus Taker at Survivor Series, personally. But for some reason they went with Shawn, and I don't know why. I mean, what did I think of the match overall? It was an okay match. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad. It was just there. So, what did I think of the pay-per-view overall? The weakest match on the card had to be the Owen Hart versus Farouk match. Just because it didn't even go 6 minutes, and Austin just was like talking on commentary, and used the Intercontinental title belt on Farouk's head. Bit of a side note, guys. I did go on to Wikipedia to write down the tournament brackets for the Intercontinental tournament, and literally 4 of the matches ended in disqualification in a title tournament. What the flip, Gordon? So we had Brian Pillman versus Dude Love. That ended in a disqualification. Owen Hart versus Goldust. That ended in a disqualification. Farouk versus Shamrock. That ended in pinfall, but he was injured, so Farouk advanced. So that basically should have just been a disqualification for Farouk. Ahmed Johnson versus Rocky Maivia ended in a pinfall. Literally the only pinfall until the final. Owen Hart versus Brian Pillman ended in a disqualification. That would have been a good match. Farouk versus Ahmed Johnson, that ended in a disqualification. Why? And then Owen Hart defeating Farouk. Like I said, it was a good way to build up the feud with Owen Hart and Steve Austin, but yeah, definitely just one of those things. So, like I say, the actual main event itself was given a 5-star by Dave Meltzer. Again, I've written this down because it's significant. Does it deserve a 5-star match? No. And I'm disagreeing with Dave Meltzer on this one. 4 stars, not even 4 stars. I think it should be 3 3/4. It was not a good match in my opinion. I think it was one of the more weak. I think it was actually one of the weaker matches on the card. Personally, I actually believed the sleeper hit for me was the Matt Mini and Nova versus the Masana and Tarantula match. I thought that was actually a really good match and paced very, very well. Even though the guys are short, I thought it was a good match. Like I say, weakest match, Owen Hart Farouk. But one of the better matches, I thought, was the opener. I thought it was the Nation of Domination and Legion of Doom. I thought that was a really good match. Okay, yeah, the no selling, fair enough. But I just thought it was overall, for wrestling ability, I thought it was an okay match. Like I say, Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, it's definitely second, but it's one of those things where, you're going to have conflicting interests and people are going to say different things and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's one of those things. So, guys, I thank you very much for watching. I do apologize about this video being a little bit shorter than, well, a little bit longer than my normal videos. But yeah, I've just been a bit tired and I do apologize. Thank you for watching, guys, and I hope you have a great rest of the day. Now, I wonder what's coming up next. Well, next week's Halloween. I wonder if it's going to be a spectacular episode. See you soon.